Halfway through making this video, they'll release the next version, but we'll get on with 25.06. Hi everyone, it's Chris here. With AI content on the rise, YouTube is recommending human-created videos less and less. If you appreciate my content, then please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and possibly sharing so we can get noticed. Thanks so much. Right, we're looking for OpenIndiana. There it is. And it's a very nice looking system. If you've ever used OpenSolaris, then you'll know really what this is. So we'll click on the homepage. And the first thing that strikes me is not the best looking website. I know that really shouldn't be an indicator of the OS itself, but you know, it's very functional, which is a shame because I think the OS itself, it looks great. The defaults look fantastic, but the website, yeah, it leaves a little bit to be desired. There's community tabs, and of course, we're just looking at announcements. Documentation. This is quite useful. Maybe I should read it, but of course, whoever does. There's package repositories. Not a great deal, but we'll have a look at them later, I think. Issue tracker. If you've got any problems, which that's one or two there. You've got the downloads, which we'll be going on in a minute. We've got social channels. Well, there's only 2 at the moment. And GitHub. So, not the best website. Doesn't perhaps give you the greatest first impressions, which is a little bit unfair of me. But, you know, you can see how perhaps one draws in the other. Anyway, we're going to the downloads. And there's quite a few versions. And the version that we're looking at is 2025.06, and it says from 2017 onwards, 32-bit is not supported. So unfortunately, if you've got a 32-bit system, you're not going to be able to run this. Oh, by the way, if my voice sounds a bit croaky, I think I'm coming down with some kind of cold, so my voice will probably go deeper and deeper and deeper as we get into the video. So you got the a live DVD image, you got a live USB image. You got text install DVD and a text install USB. Very nice. And you got minimal install DVD, minimal install USB, and cloud image, which sounds kind of scary. But for this, we're going to be looking on downloading the DVD install, the live DVD install, which is an option, obviously, to install onto your hard drive. And it's 1.9 gigabytes, which is not too bad in the scheme of things. And I suppose I'm going to be looking at this in the context of being a GhostBSD user, because it kind of aimed at the same thing, I suppose. Probably people are going to tell me they're not. Right, so we're going to be using VirtualBox and booting up the live session. I'm going to give it 16 gigabytes, 8 cores, 128. So about as much as we can give it in graphics. And there's the image. And we're going to give it about 100 gigs. Now, this screen looks very familiar for anyone who uses FreeBSD or GhostBSD. You kind of got this little boot menu. So at the top, you got number 1, you got Boot Multi-User. And that's the default anyway. You got boot single user, and then we got escape to loader prompt. We got reboot. Then we've got configure boot options. Then we got chain load disk 0 and select OI extras. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We might have a look at the some of the options. This is option 5, configure boot options, and you can choose whether ACPI and OS console. You can choose which one you can be using as default. Single user, verbose, reconfigure. Yeah. Okay, I like it. I like the old school text with the green with the black on front. If you're a Dragon 32 user or a Tandy Coco user, then you'll get that. And we go back to the main menu. Right, next we got chain load disk 0. No, I pressed that before and it started booting up, so I'm not going to press that on this occasion. So we're going to select Number 7, OI extras. And with this one, you get VESA, driver, text console, or enable SSH. Okay, we're just going to leave them off. But yeah, it's not too bad. I like that. And back to the main menu. And I think we'll just press enter to start going into the live DVD. It does take a while to go in, so I'll fast forward. This is certainly a lot slower in getting going than, say, GhostBSD is. Oh, there we go. Choose a language. I like this. Wide choice of languages. It's weird that we're not getting it in a GUI. It's like old-fashioned console based, but hey, each to their own. And the default is 7, which is English. It doesn't specify whether it's UK English or American English or any other type of English. It's just English. So I guess because it's the only one that we've got, we'll have to choose that. And it is default anyway, so we'll see. There we go, number 7. And we'll let it do its thing. Again, this is a really slow process. And we'll fast forward it. Yeah, that was really slow. I don't know what it was doing, but that was slow. Right, here we are. Right, it looks good. The aspect ratio is a little bit out, the resolution, but I like it. I like the theming of the icons and the desktop. I've always loved that in OpenSolaris. I think the theming is spot on. It's very perfect. I just like it. So yeah, well, we're going to leave the resolution as is because now you can see what everything's doing without me having to zoom in. So that's kind of cool. I might have to zoom in a bit, but not as much as I would. You've got applications, places, system. You've got some icons at the top. You've got audio, network, clock, and stuff. You've got your virtual desktops at the bottom. So it's all pretty standard Mate, I think. And if you're a GhostBSD user, it should look familiar. You've got your calendar, October the 25th, at the time of me doing this. You've got a power preferences, a power manager, which is good. And there's a preferences for it, yeah. I'm going to change that to never so it doesn't interrupt what I'm doing. Okay, that's cool. You've got time shift. I think is that time shift? Time slider. Near enough. Which is basically like a boot environment backup. You get that on FreeBSD and GhostBSD. So it takes a snapshot of a working system and you can go back just in case something doesn't. If you delete something you don't mean to or something stops working. You've got network manager, which we're going to leave there. I mean, it's on the Ethernet anyway. Yeah. Yeah, it's all pretty good. I like it. You got volume, of course, and you get some preferences if you right-click on it. Seems to be all right. It's all pretty good. Then you've got some. You've got a terminal, Thunderbird, and Firefox, of course. Then you got your system, your places and your applications. Under your system, you get your preferences, as you do on every Mate install. There's nothing particularly fantastic. There's one or two things which are applicable to OpenIndiana. And speaking of which, here's the version. And yeah, and about Mate 1.28.2, which I think is the latest at the time of this video. I think it's the same as what you get on GhostBSD. Shut down, lock screen, and log out Jack. Jack being the default username. Your preferences, of course, you got hardware for displays, keyboard, etc. You got internet and network, look and feel, other, which comprises basically input methods, NVIDIA server. NVIDIA? I'm running VirtualBox. Oh well, it's installed it anyway. And personal, so you can get, change your user details. You got network, print manager, and time slider. Yeah, it takes snapshots of your data, which is pretty useful. And a control center for everything that we've just looked at, but in one area, which I love in GhostBSD because you get some tools which are only in GhostBSD at the top, like your software station, etc. Gosh, you don't get them in this. In fact, I'm not quite sure you get any kind of GUI package manager to speak of. Your print settings is your time slider, of course, which we looked at earlier. So I'm not going to do it in this video. Your displays. We'll just check the resolution. Yeah. I could up it, I suppose. Wow, all the way to the top. But I'm going to leave it as it is. You can see better that way. Refresh rate. Yeah, so it's good. You got keyboard. If you want to change your layout or change the accessibility of it. English US. I'm going to no, I'll wait until I install to do that. It's detected the keyboard model. Very good. Some type 7 I'm using, UK. Accessibility, like you were saying, if you want to change how fast your mouse pointer moves and indication that you're doing so. Mouse keys, if you want to change that. If you don't want to use a mouse, use a keyboard to move around. And typing break, though, yeah. If you want to give yourself a timed rest, which is good. Keyboard shortcuts for those who want to use this. Mouse orientation, if you want to change if you're a lefty or a righty. Kind of useful. You got your sound, as we looked at earlier. Network, scroll down. Network proxy. You want to change those settings. And ignored hosts. Appearance. Now the theme, I love this theme in OpenIndiana and OpenSolaris, which is Nimbus. I just think I've always loved it. Do you know what I mean? It's like always, it just resonates. It's clear, it's crisp, and I just like it. I don't know if it's just me, if everyone else can't stand it, but I just like it. Your wallpapers are nothing remarkable. I think they're more or less stock Mate wallpapers. I mean, they're perfectly fine, but there's nothing custom for hipster here. And pixel smoothing is on by default, I think. Yeah. And the interface, if you want to show icons in menus, etc. If you want to change your compiz, which really, I mean, it's on by default and it's running, but it might slow your system down if you're not running the fastest card, etc. So yeah, that's compiz. I haven't used compiz for a long time now. One thing I've got to say though, I absolutely love the. It might be because the resolution is 800 by 600, but I absolutely love the rather chunky scroll bars. I just think they're so much easier to see. You got your main menu editor, and there are options for games, but there's no games here. But yeah, probably because there's none installed, but we'll check it anyway. Okay, never mind. You've got pop-up notifications. And you got a screensaver. Now, yeah. See, GhostBSD also suffers from this in a kind of way that there's nothing specially tailored for it, which would be good. You got your usual ones, you got your floating ones and your pictures and folders and pop-out squares, but nothing that actually says this is OpenIndiana, which would be nice if it went on screen so people would know what you were running. And you got to look at Windows, where they're placed and behavior, and even your compositing manager, you can change that. Whether you want it on or off. Got a nice. I like nice. I like nice shadows on my windows. You can change. You've in the personal part. You've got about me. You're going to change your name of the user and change your password and stuff like that. Assistive. You've got file indexing for locations, and you want to change how you find things basically. Okay, well, that's a lot of caching warnings. File management. Again, it's how things are shown and double click, single click. It can be a very contentious issue. And extension. And you've got assistive technologies above it and preferred applications down here. Pigeon, if you want to change it. If you need to install more stuff, but then you can change what your preferred applications to handle various things with. So it's all good. And startup applications. There's quite a few there, a few trackers. Time slider. Okay, well, I will leave it at that. And then finally, the other one, you got iBus preferences. I don't want to start it, thank you. Input method selector. Okay. Choose iBus or the other ones. NVIDIA X server settings, which is weird because I didn't install that, but it must install by default. And then pulse audio preferences at the bottom. Because everyone loves pulse audio. There you go. And on your desktop, you've got some icons. You've got a computer, which if you keep on clicking it, hopefully it works. There we go. We'll show you your main system directory and any devices attached, etc. That's mounted. You got your home folder. This one is called Jack, but obviously when you install it, it will be whatever your name is. Device driver utility, which is interesting because I think what this does, it searches if there's any problems and installs a driver for it. Takes a while. I don't anticipate it's gonna come up with anything because I'm using VirtualBox. But if you're running an older system, maybe it would work. It's not the quickest. And it says driver problems 0 with a little tick, so I think it looks good. Trash can, and you get two options to install. You got one using a text installer, the other one in using presumably a GUI one. It doesn't say it, but I'm going to presume it is. The text one looks like this, so you kind of look like you're installing Debian or FreeBSD. It's got kind of like texty look to it. And you can install existing pool, which is good if you've got ZFS, I suppose. But the one that we're going to look at is install OpenIndiana using a GUI. So again, the comparisons with GhostBSD. And very nice first impressions is the installer looks very clean. I like it. And it says, thanks for choosing to install OpenIndiana OS. Read the release notes, list of known problems, step-by-step instructions. The installer will not upgrade existing installations. You would like to upgrade, select getting started with. So you have to, it's not going to upgrade. These are not clickable options. These are like stages it goes through. And your release notes unable to display, which is not good. Okay. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah. So we can't review the release note. There's the hard drive partition, or the hard drive itself. And you can partition it into various bits using Solaris 2 partition type. Should I? I'm not going to partition. I think really, I'm using the entire disk. Partitioning looks fairly standard. But I'm going to use the disk. Warning, the entire disk will be erased. Yes, thank you. When we click on next, we get to the location for time zone, date and time, etc. And I'm going to click on London, which is extremely small. Did it do it? There's no indication that I selected London other than the little pop-up thing. London. Yeah. I'm not too keen on this particular way of doing it. I like to select it from a list. And speaking of list, here's a list of languages. So if I click on London. Right, so it doesn't default to English. It's still on English, but not English UK. You would have thought perhaps by doing London you would have done that. All right, well, I don't see English UK. Which is weird. Okay. Yeah, you probably changed it down there. So it's on English, but we're going to choose the area. There, let's put it in UK. Look. That is strange. Like I say, I'm looking at this from the perspective of a GhostBSD, which is presented slightly differently when you install and choose your languages, etc. But this is feels clunky, feels weird. So French ones will give you all these different territories that speak different variations of French. And of course, if you click on English, it will give you all the territories where you speak different versions of English. Okay, well, there we go. We selected. Now we're going to put in a root password. You have to remember this. And your real name. Well, I'm going to put my name, RoboNuggie. Login name. Let's see if there's a limitation on it. No, doesn't seem to be. Put that. Oh, login name cannot be greater than 8 characters. Well, it didn't tell you when you were typing it out, but there you go. Sometimes they physically stop you from typing more, so I guess it's going to have to be Robo. Then that's one of them with limitations. Bizarre. And use a password, and you confirm it. Computer name, change that to test. I think we should be good to go on this now. There's a summary. I think it looks okay. I don't think this is as good as a GhostBSD installer, but, This took a long time, about 18 minutes to install, which, GhostBSD can be installed in 6 minutes. Right, that's installed, and it says reboot, which we're going to do, and we'll join it when it's restarted. Right, we're booting up in the newly installed OpenIndiana, and again, it's a familiar screen, but it says at the bottom now, instead of OpenIndiana extras, it says select boot environment. So very much like GhostBSD now, you get an option at the bottom. Let's speed through because it's very slow. Right, there we go. That actually took longer than it should. I don't know why it's so slow. Anyway, here's a little login screen. I like it. It's nice and clean. We're going to put Robo and password. And just before we do that, there we go. Let you see, I'm going to have to put the right keyboard or language selection here. British, English, UK. Oh, there we go. Select that one. If I don't do that, then everything's going to look weird. Well, it'll seem weird as I'm typing it out. Okay, let's fast forward. There we go. So, yeah. It's looked like it did before, of course, but now the install options are gone because obviously we've installed. So, we'll go down to everything. Everything feels fairly smooth and quite quick. All your menu items are all present and correct. Let's fire up a terminal to see if we can install some more software. Because the one thing that I've noticed is a lack of ready-to-go software. But there doesn't seem to be anything coming up on the terminal, which is interesting. There should be no cursor flashing. I don't know what's going on with this. Let's go to change, reset, if that brings it back. No? Okay, well, that's interesting. A little bug, is it? Okay. Well, if we can't type in it and there's no GUI package manager, then we're not going to get very far with this one. Let's see if Firefox works. Crikey, that took 22 seconds to open. Huh. Well, I'll tell you what, it might look great, OpenIndiana, but it's not going to win any races for speediness. I like the fact when you open the browser, you get the, it's kind of like a user manual or links to it. Like a quick start guide. I like that. That is a good touch. Maybe something implemented on a similar basis in GhostBSD will be good. So it's kind of like a quick start guide. But it's meant to be a general purpose OS. So we'll see how that one works out. We're going to try open up the terminal again. This time I'm going to go to the menu and do it that way rather than the select at the top. That might be bugging out. First, we'll have a look at the system resources. That's not too bad. 4.6 gigabyte. Well, okay. Everything seems a bit, well, it's a resolution of course, isn't it? But everything looks to be fairly ticking along nicely. There's your file system layout, your resources, your processors. Ah, interesting. Let's try that again. Click on system. That works. Open the Indiana. There we are. And it was crash wounded processor. So let's see if it does it again. Yeah. Well, that's unusual. That's a strange one. It crashes when you go into up processors. Okay. All right. So there's one or two little quirks with this so far. Yeah. Let's have a look at this again, shall we? Because why is there no? I mean, is it working? It's so strange. I wonder if it's the wrong color. I wonder if we can change the theming. Maybe that's what the problem is. Might be black text on black background, you see, so unfortunately we won't see it. Colors. Oh, okay. So if you use colors from the system theme, you get nothing. All right, okay. Well, that's interesting. It's almost like it's yeah, the defaults are a little bit off. Okay, well, there we go. So now we've cured that. This is one bit of good news. So now we've got the terminal going, we can try to see if we can install some more software. So I'm going to issue sudo package refresh, which I think is the command. Well, a couple of minutes. I don't know whether that's good or bad. And I'm going to package search for LibreOffice, which there isn't any. All right. So there's no LibreOffice. Any Office stuff? Well, there is some Office stuff, but let's have a look. New cache, PDF viewer. Well, that's about it, isn't it? Oh, numeric. Okay. Well, we'll try install then. We'll install numeric. Or numeric. Nice little tidy little spreadsheet. So we'll see how long this takes. Not the quickest. Numeric is not a massive file. Okay, well there you go. Oh, and it hasn't automatically populated it. So yeah. Am I gonna have to log out and log back in again? Not under any of these ones. Yeah, I got a feeling I'm gonna have to log out, aren't I? And log back in. Oh, I best check it's actually installed first, actually. Yep, it's definitely installed. Okay then. So I'll log out, log back in, and see if that does the trick. And we'll log back in. There we go. And let's have a look in Office now. Yeah, there it is. Well, that's interesting. So there might be a command shortcut, maybe, so I could have typed in the terminal, but that's not 100% ideal. So installing stuff does work, which is good. So let's have a look to see if we can change repositories and find OpenOffice. LibreOffice. Oh, well, I guess it's done it. Let's refresh the package tree. Okay, fine. Let's see if it's done the trick. Hopefully we can search for LibreOffice. But first, I'm gonna restart the system because, do you know, if I had to log out and log back in for the menu to populate, I can only imagine what you need to do in order to get the new package tree. So I think it tells you to reboot anyway. So we'll reboot. Log back in. And there we go. We're back into the terminal. And we'll try LibreOffice again. Now, I read that old version of LibreOffice is available, so we'll try that. It's not the latest stuff. And more waiting. Okay, we got some kind of error. No version, matching dependencies, obsolete. Well, yeah. So we can't install LibreOffice 5.2. So instead, earlier on, off camera, I installed AbiWord. Okay, so what did work in this? Well, Firefox worked, of course. It was a little bit slow in starting up, but it seems to be the latest version, which is a good sign. So at least we can get something done. Scroll down, help, and about, and it's 144.0, which at the time of this video is the latest one, which is reasonable. Okay, so at least I got that. Well, I'm going to give OpenIndiana Hipster 2 stars, or 2 Robos, or 2 Nuggies out of 5. And the reason being, I'll give you the good ones first. It's based on Lumos with Sun OS 5.11 kernel, which is a very good heritage. The default theme looks great, which I think it really does. And ZFS and Time Slider, well, it's like GhostBSD boot environment, so you can make sure that your system will work and your data's backed up and all that kind of thing. What didn't work? Why the minus? Well, it was slow installation, random crashes, slow loading of programs, misconfigured defaults, no GUI package manager, which there wasn't, and poor selection of installable software. So basically, I mean, I understand it's a community effort, but it's got a lot of work to do, and it makes me appreciate GhostBSD even more because it has managed to achieve all these good things with very few negative things. And I'm not just being biased here, because in a way that these two OSs are very similar. They have a UNIX heritage, both aimed at the desktop user. But GhostBSD has managed to integrate a lot of things which OpenIndiana hasn't. A good OS has a lot of potential, but unfortunately isn't quite there yet. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you like 1 or 2 of my videos, then please consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, then please hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos I might release. And this channel is unmonetized. I don't make any money on these videos. I do these videos because I love the community, I love the OS, and I just love making videos. So if you want to show appreciation, like I say, please hit that like button, consider sharing, and leave a comment, because that way we get notified. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.